Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Jaya Labha Girivaradhari Jaya Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Haribol, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai. We'll start with Mangalacharan and then we'll get into the class. Okay? Thank you all for coming. It's a very beautiful day, right? It's only sub-zero for the last 1 month, so that's good. Okay, all right. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuranmalitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gatha Srivas Adi Gauravakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. How many of you are married over here? How many of you have conversations with your spouse or partner? Right? You do? Okay, that's wonderful. And how many of you have conversations with your friends? And how many of you have conversations with your loved ones? How many of you have conversations with people you really like? How many of you have conversations with people you don't like? Very few. How many of you have regular conversations with Krishna? Okay, the rest of you what? You don't like Krishna? That's why you don't have conversations, right? So today we'll figure out how to have conversations with Krishna, okay? How to pray, okay? All right, so we'll start with a very interesting pastime. It's a beautiful pastime, it's a very interesting pastime because such a pastime has never happened in Krishna Leela. Okay, you see, Krishna usually he runs into challenges with people who don't like him. Okay, he rarely runs into challenges with people who like him. Okay, but this is a pastime where he ran into a problem with somebody who actually supposedly really likes him. Okay, so the way this pastime starts is that there is a picnic. Krishna and his friends, they decided to have a picnic near the bank of river Yamuna. Okay, are you guys? Oh, it's right there also. No wonder. I was like, wow, how can you even see that? Right. Yeah. So he was having he and his friends decided to have a picnic near the bank of river Yamuna. Okay. So they go to the picnic, and then even before they start with the picnic, they run into this ginormous snake. Okay, whose name is Aga. Okay, and so long story short, Krishna kills the Aga demon. Okay, so Agasur. So when Krishna kills the Aga demon, there is a lot of tumultuous sound coming from the heavens, like, oh, the Agasur is dead, Agasur is dead. Like all the demigods, they are making a lot of sound with their kettlebells, when they're showering flowers and a lot of commotion, everybody's celebrating the death of Agasur. And so this sound, this news reaches Brahma. It's like, what's going on? What's going on? Like, why am I not in the party? Right? So he comes and he asks these demigods what's going on. And he said, like, look, Agasur is dead, Agasur is dead. So, okay, who killed Agasur? Agasur is dead. He's not an ordinary thing. So you see that boy, he killed Agasur. What? That boy? Yeah, that boy. So who is that boy? Arey Baba, you should know Brahmaji. That boy is none other than God. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He killed Aghasur. And Brahma is like, how can he kill Aghasur? So what Brahma does, he says that, okay, I'm going to test out this boy. So he observes this boy from far away. Okay. So now that Aghasur is dead, they all decide to have the picnic. So they all sit in this circle. Let me see if I can go back to that picture. Yes, they all sit in this circle. Krishna sits in the middle and they open their picnic baskets, whatever they got, and they start having this picnic. And so one of the boys says that, Krishna, this samosa is so wonderful. This is tasting really nice. Do you want to try it? He says, yeah, I want to try it. And he goes and he snatches that. And Brahma is like, how is he snatching food which is half eaten by somebody? Okay? And then he sees that Krishna is snatching fruit from the right and left, and everybody is trying to feed Krishna, and Krishna is sometimes not even waiting for that, and he's eating with his right hand, he's eating with his left hand and all that. And Brahma comes to the conclusion, it cannot be God. It cannot be God. Because you see, when how we offer food to the Lord is very different, right? We do a lot of like mantras, we do a lot of paddhatis, we come, we sometimes even do some mudras, this, that, and then we offer prayers, and it has to be sattvic. You can't even smell the food, forget about tasting it. Then you offer to the Lord, and then you wait silently. And over here, nothing like that was going on. Not only was Krishna snatching food from here and there, the boys were also snatching food from here and there, even from Krishna. So how is that possible? So then something very interesting happened. You see, amongst Krishna's friends, there is this very nice friend that he has whose name is Madhumangal. Everybody knows Madhumangal, okay? Right? So Madhumangal is this Brahmin, little bit plumpish guy. And because he's a Brahmin guy, he comes from a very poor family. He doesn't really have a lot. He's not very opulent. Okay? So the day before, he had told his mother, Mother, I never take anything for Krishna, but tomorrow we are going on a picnic. Please, I want to take something for Krishna. So his mother says, look, we don't really have much at home, so give me a few minutes. So she goes out and she begs for some yogurt. From 4 or 5 different houses, she begs for some yogurt, and she makes a little bit of katora of buttermilk chas with that yogurt. Okay, and she gives that chas in this container, in this pot, to Madhumangal, and she says, Madhu, you take it, but don't give it to Krishna, because you know what? Because I don't really know how good the yogurt is. Right? Somewhere it might be 2 days old, somewhere it might be 4 days old. We don't want Krishna to get sick. So you just show it that you've got something, but make sure that Krishna doesn't have it. We don't want anything to happen to him. And Brahma say, okay, that's fine. So Madhumangal comes over there at the picnic and he takes out his pot of chas. And Krishna is eyeing Madhumangal and says, wow, today, Madhu, you've gotten something for me today. Yeah, Krishna, I got this, but you know, you're so busy with eating such amazing things. This, don't worry about it. This, I'll have this. Okay, you just have whatever other things. He says, nothing doing. No, I want to have some of it. Krishna, no, you can't have this. My mother actually gave it to me. I was just being polite, but this is for me. This is actually not for you. This is like, what do you mean it's only for you? This is a picnic. Everything is for everyone. I'm coming to have it. And so Madhumangal then gets up and runs with that pot of chas. So Madhumangal is running and Krishna is running after him, and Madhu goes and hides behind this tree and he gulps down this entire chas. And he puts it in his mouth, and you know what happens when you put so much of liquid in your mouth? You know, hop. So Krishna comes around and he pops his mouth. And then the chas comes out and Krishna drinks it. And so now Brahma is convinced that this cannot be God. How can this be God? God doesn't behave like this. So he said, all right, Now I will teach this boy a lesson. He might be a big yogi, but I am everybody's creator. So I am the biggest yogi. Okay? So I'm going to teach this person a lesson. So what he does is, he says, I am going to take away all the calves and all his friends from this place. So how will he do that? So he says that, all right, I'm going to create a green pasture near where the calves are. And then I'll create a little bit more greener pasture a little farther away, and then little farther away. And so that's what he does. And so the calves, they see this green pasture and they start grazing, and they see a little bit green, a little bit farther away, and they start going towards that and so on. And Krishna seeing this from the corner of his eye, like, what's going on? And the cowherd boys are also saying, hey, the calves are going away. Oh, don't worry, you guys carry on. I'm going to go check out what's going on. So he follows these calves a little bit, and then he's also at that point of time, Krishna is in Yoga Maya. He doesn't know that he's God. But now the calves are very dear to him. And so the calves, he feels that he has to protect them. So as soon as Krishna gets a sense that somebody needs to be protected, immediately the covering of Yoga Maya goes away from his mindset. And so he realizes now what is going on. Because he's in everybody's heart, he's in Brahma's heart, he realizes what Brahma is doing. He says, I see, Brahma, you're doing this. Okay, I will teach you a lesson. So what Krishna does is he creates an equal number of Maya calves and Maya cowherd boys. Okay? These are shadow cowherd boys and shadow calves. Okay? Right? He creates them. All right? And Brahma, you see, nobody can touch the associates of the Lord. It's not possible. Just like Ravana cannot touch the real Sita, he has to abduct the Maya Sita. Similarly, Brahma cannot touch the calves and the cowherd boys. He can't do it. It's not possible for him to do it. So what he does, he takes these Maya calves and Maya cowherd boys and he whisks them away. And he hides them in a place. So then, what does Krishna do? The real cowherd boys and the calves, he puts them under Yoga Nidra. They're completely asleep. And they have no idea that they're asleep. And he himself expands as the number of calves and the number of cowherd boys. So now, my dear friends, we have 3 sets of calves and cowherd boys. The Maya ones, which Brahma has taken away, the real ones which are asleep, and Krishna having expanded to all of these who remain like that. So Brahma comes back after a few moments, when a year of earthly year has passed, and he sees that, I just put them there, what happened? How are they still there? And they're doing exactly whatever they're supposed to do. They're behaving exactly like the right calves and the right cowherd boys and so on. And so Brahma is like, okay, so maybe I didn't put them in the right place. So he does a double take and he says, no, they're also here and these are also here. And then Brahma, who is very intelligent, he realizes that he made a mistake. He says, so now I know that the person jiske saath mein panga le raha tha, that person is my boss. That person is Krishna. That person is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And so once he realizes this, he says, he comes and he pays obeisances to Krishna and he utters some prayers. And so today we are going to talk about these prayers. And through these prayers, we'll figure out how to have conversations. You see, the thing is, it's easy to have conversations with someone just colloquially. It's more difficult to have conversations with that person when you completely mess up. And over here, Brahma has completely messed up. And if you look at the trajectory of our spiritual lives, we frequently mess up when it comes to God. So if we figure out how to have this conversation with God when we have absolutely messed up everything, then the rest of it is much, much easier. So in his prayers, how does he pray? So this is given in Canto number 10, chapter number 14. So the first prayer, he talks about Krishna's transcendental beauty. And then the next few prayers, up to number 8, he says, Brahma talks about who can and who cannot understand Krishna. Okay? And then he expresses a lot of regret. He condemns his own impudence. And he says that, look, I totally messed up, but this is why I messed up. I'm not that intelligent. I'm very foolish. I'm in Maya. I'm not a bhakta. Yada, 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 yada. So up to 15, he just presents different reasons that he should be forgiven. And then he goes back and again praises Krishna. And he says that, okay, this is why I have to be forgiven. And this is why you should forgive me. Because you are so awesome. Because you have these inconceivable qualities. Right? You're very beautiful. I messed up. I should be forgiven. And this is why you should forgive me. Okay? And then, finally, he talks, well, not finally. Next, he talks about who are the ones who are close to Krishna. And he talks about this process of bhakti. And he says this process of bhakti is way better than speculative knowledge. And there's a reason why he talks about this. So when we get into some of the prayers, we'll tell you why he speaks like that. Because you see, Brahma, he is not just knowledgeable, his whole body is made of knowledge. And so it's not just an aspect of him having 4 heads and being superior intelligence than we do. It is that his entire being is made of knowledge. So, but he says that the knowledge which I have is speculative knowledge. And that's why I don't have bhakti. And so that's why I couldn't recognize you. I couldn't understand you. Not only that, I got this desire to test you. And so there's a superiority of bhakti over speculative knowledge. And then, over the next 10 shlokas, he again prays for Krishna's mercy, and then he glorifies the ones who are the one closest to Krishna, which is the Vrajvasis. Okay? And then what happens? And then his prayers end. Okay? So what does Krishna do after this? What does Krishna do? Sucharu Radharani after this? Let's see if she can remember. What does Krishna do after hearing Brahma's prayers? He forgives him, right? 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 No, he doesn't. He says, Brahma, are you done? Because I have to go to my friends. My friends are waiting for me to have this picnic. So you're done, no? Okay, so I can go now? Yeah, okay, good. Goodbye. So that's what happens. So Krishna leaves. And Krishna leaves, so Brahma goes back to his abode. Krishna starts for home. And so after the picnic, they all go home. And Sukdev Goswami very beautifully concludes this by talking about what happens when Krishna goes home. Oh, mommy, do you know what happened today? What happened? Oh, Krishna killed this Agasur demon. This day. Really? How did it happen? Oh, we come. We'll tell us all about it. So this is what happens, right? And Sukdev Goswami very nicely describes that. And so he talks about the influence of the lords of Krishna's inconceivable power on these cowherd boys. Okay? And that's how the chapter ends, more or less. Last couple of things. So Krishna enters Vraja with the cowherd boys. And then Sukdev Goswami, he spends a little bit of time talking about the dearmost object of an embodied soul. So we are all embodied souls, right? So we are souls inside this body. And you say, who is the one which is dearmost to us? Who is the one who is dearmost to us? I'm sorry? Our own self, exactly, right? Push comes to shove, we can leave our husbands. Definitely. In fact, why push? चलो हो ही जाएगा ऐसे अगर मौका मिल जाए तो why not? Right? So yeah, But we can leave our parents, we anyways leave our parents halfway across the world and so on and so forth. But it's very difficult for us to leave ourselves, okay, to forget about ourselves. So, but what Sukdev Goswami does, he says, do you know why? And he says, you know why? Because actually the one dearmost to us is Krishna. And even in our subconscious level, we realize that. And we relate that ourselves, that Krishna, the super soul in our heart, as ourselves. And that is why we believe that ourself is the one which is nearest to us. So, and he gives the example of the cowherd boys. And he says, like, the dearmost to them was Krishna. And they were never thinking about themselves. So they are not embodied souls. But the embodied souls, they always think about themselves to be the ones closest to them. Why? Because their understanding that the one who's closest to them is Krishna is perverted. But actually, in their subconscious level, they know, they feel it in their DNA that the one closest to them is the Paramatma. Okay, and this is how it concludes. Okay, so now we will go through a couple of these prayers. So you might remember the very first prayer that Sri Brahma talks about is this. Sri Brahma Vacha. Namitya tribhra papuseta didamvaraya gunjavatam saparipricha lasanmukhaya vanya sraje kavala vetra vishana venu lakshma shriye mridupade pashupankajaya. So this is written in Shadula Vikriditam. So Sri Brahma Vacha, Brahma is saying something. He's saying no midyate. So obeisance to you. Okay? And he says the abra vapuse tadid ambaraya. So he says, like, look, you are like this dark cloud, okay? But you're wearing this ambaraya, this dhoti that you're wearing, tadid ambaraya, this is like lightning. This yellow dhoti that you're wearing is like lightning on that dark cloud. It's so beautiful, so poetic, isn't it? Right? Okay. And then he says, Gunja Vatamsa. Gunja Vatamsa. Gunja, do you know Gunja berries? If you have all gone to Braj, I don't even know how many times, so you must have seen those. And then you can see it in other places also. Even if you go to Jaipur and all, you'll see these beautiful ornaments made of gunja berries. So he's saying he's wearing these earrings made of gunja berries. Okay? And then he say paripricha. Paripricha is the peacock feather. And he has a peacock feather. Okay? And lasan mukhaya. So by wearing these beautiful gunja berry earrings and this paripricha and this yellow dhoti, which looks like lightning on his black body, his lasan mukhaya is looking splendid. His face is looking splendid. His appearance is looking splendid. Okay? Vanya sraje. Vanya sraje means Vanya is the forest. So he's wearing a garland, but that garland is not this amazing garland which we make. This garland is made of these just Vanya, this forest flowers. Oh, yahan se kuch utha liya, wahan se kuch utha liya, ye wo, and pehen liya. Okay, so like that. You see this beautiful picture? It's like that. Okay, and then he has this kavala. Kavala is this yogurt and rice mix, like, like yogurt rice with some sugar, but it's sweet. And you see where he's holding it? Where is he holding it? He's holding it on his left hand. So this is what bewildered Brahma. How is this God? Who is this God who's eating with his left hand? So Krishna is just standing nicely listening to Brahma's prayers like that, so sweetly. So with this, he's okay, tumhe kya bolna hai bata. So okay, like that, he's like that with Kavala Vatra. And then he has Vishana. Vishana is this horn, this bugle through which you call these calves. Okay, and then the calves come. Okay. And then he has a Venu. Venu is this small flute-like thing The flute is longer, which is Bansuri, and Venu is the small flute. It's about 6 inches. You can get Venus and Bansuris both, obviously, in Vrindavan. Well, in many places also. You can get it in Amazon.com also, I'm pretty sure. Okay? So Vishana Venu. Okay? And then he's saying, Lakshma Shriye Mridupade. So, of course, as you can understand, he's standing over there in his splendor, right? In his splendor. And Mridupade, his appearance is not just beautiful, it is also very soft. It is very pleasing. It is melting the heart. Okay? But then the question might come from the acharyas, Are Baba Brahma, you are saying ki Naumidhyate, you are saying pranams to you, but who are you talking about? Are you talking about your boss, Brahmaji? Narayan, who is there in Shwetadeep? It's like, no. I'm not talking about my boss, Narayan. I'm talking about Pashu Pankajaya. Okay, so he clarifies. Who's Pashupa? Pashupa is Nanda Maharaj. Okay, so his son, I'm talking about his son. Okay, so this is a beautiful, beautiful prayer. This kind of prayer where we are praising the Lord. So when we see the Lord and when we see our beloved, the first thing we say is, you're looking so beautiful, so nice, so wonderful. बड़ा स्मार्ट दिख रहे हो आज. ओके, बोलते हो कि नहीं आप लोग? नहीं बोलते हो तो बोला करो. Okay, all right. So yeah, so this kind of prayer is called Samprarthanatmika. Samprarthanatmika. Okay, this is a direct prayer glorifying the Lord. And so then he moves forward. And then in a couple of prayers, he talks about this. He says, Gyane prayasham udapasya namanta eva jivanti sanmukharitam bhavadiya vartam sthane sthita shutikatam tanuvan manobhir ya prayo shijita jitopi asita So he says, Gyane prayasam. So there are people who try to understand the Lord through mental speculation. Mental speculation means what? Oh, he must be like this. He must like that. I'm sure he will like this, what I'm giving it to him. I'm sure me to do this. So this is mental speculation. As if we know the Lord. Okay, you cannot. What Brahmaji is saying is that you patience. Even I was speculating who is the Lord and who is not the Lord. And so he says that you cannot know the Lord like this. Udapasya namanta eva. And then so how will you know the Lord? He says the way you will know the Lord is you approach people whose jivanti sanmukharitam. So their whole life is spent on just talking about the Lord. You approach those people. And then you sit in front of those people, udapasya, and you listen. You listen. Bhavadiya Bhartam. What do you listen to? You listen Vartam. What do you listen to? You listen Bhavadiya. You listen about them talking about the Lord. Because their whole life revolves around the Lord. So you don't speculate on your own. You approach the people whose only job is to talk about the Lord. And then you just sit, Bhavadiya Bhartam, you just listen. And then what do? You just leave your job, you leave your wife, you leave your everything, and that's all you do, right? Like, no, you don't have to do that. You can do sthani sthitam, wherever you are, whatever position you're in, whichever situation you're in, sthani sthitam, okay? And remaining in that situation, you do shutigatam, you just listen. And what else do you do? In the tan van manovir. So you serve. So through tan, through your body, through your facilities, van, through your vani, through your speech, and man, through your mind. You serve them. Okay? That's how you do it. Okay? And if you do that, ye prayaso, the person who can do this kind of a thing, who can attempt to do that, who can do the prayas of this, okay, they will win, jita jito, the one who cannot be won. Okay? The one who cannot be won in this Trilokyam, in these three worlds, they will be able to win over. So what is Brahmaji doing in this prayer? He's giving us a template of how to know Krishna. Okay? So first he praised the beauty. Now he says, like, you know what? It seems that it's very difficult to know about Krishna, and the difficulties when you do mental speculation, but there is an easy way to do it. You don't have to quit anything. Just associate with people who are always talking about Krishna. And that's it. And if you do that and you serve them with your mind, your speech, and your body, then you will be able to win over Krishna. That's it. And so then he underscores this point. So this kind of prayer is there are a couple of flavors to this prayer. So one flavor is called Vaishnava Mahima Prakashika. Vaishnava Mahima Prakashika, which is revealing the greatness of the Vaishnavas. The other one is called Sadhaka Dehe Lalasa Suchika. Sadhaka Dehe means as a practitioner, in the body of a practitioner, which is all of us, right? Okay. Lalasa Suchika. I have the lalasa, have the desire to practice devotional service as a devotee. So this prayer has these two flavors. Okay? Quiz hoga baad mein. Okay. All right. So next is, he goes forward, and this one, everybody should know this, right? So we can all recite this together, because this is in our DNA, this prayer. Okay? Tattenu kampam susamekshamano bhunjana evatma kritam vipakam ridvagva purvir vidadan namaste jive tayo mukti pade sadayabhak. So, he says, look, while we are doing all of these things, we will get through a lot of different things in life. Some of them will be good, but most of it will be bad. Okay? And everything, tatte, everything that comes tat from you, te, if we take it as your mercy, anukampam, and then we do susamiksha. So not samiksha. Samiksha means you do some analysis. But susamiksha means you do deep analysis. You go like really, really deep into it. And you come to this one and one conclusion only, that whatever I'm going through is something which was caused by me. Okay? Nobody else is the cause of this misery. I am the cause of my own miseries. I am the cause of everything that is coming to me. Okay? But at the same time, it is coming to me as your mercy. Tatte anukampam. So everything that is coming to me, I am the cause of it, but actually it is also your mercy. This is a very interesting concept, because a cause usually has only one object, like, oh, this is the cause. But he's saying, like, no, this is not just the cause. The cause is also that this is the mercy of the Lord. Okay? It's all coming because of whatever I did, but it's also coming because of your mercy. Tatte anukampam susamikshamanu. This is the depth of the analysis that I have to do. And once I do this analysis, what should I do? I say, bhunjana evatma kritam vipakam. So he says, like, well, I would still want to only worship you, regardless of whatever I'm going through. I will also only chant your name. I will only glorify you. I will never leave your side, regardless of whatever the heck has come to my life. Okay? You are still going to be front and center. And what else will I do? I'll do Rit Vag Vapurvir Vidadhan Namaste. Same thing. Remember, the previous one is Rit Vag Vapur is nothing but with my body, with my speech, and with my mind. I will serve you. I will serve you. Vidadhan Namaste. Okay? I will serve you, I'll approach you, I'll pay my obeisance to you, I'll worship you. With these three. And if I am to somehow do that, if somehow or the other I'm able to do that, then that particular person, Jiveta Yo Mukti Pade, that person can get liberated. And Dayabhak is inheritance. That not only can he get, he must get liberated. You see, this itself, this prayer has a very, very deep meaning to it. The deepest meaning, I mean, there are many, many layers of deep meaning. We won't have time to go through all of them. But liberation is not granted as a haq, as like, yeah, I have to be liberated. Like, I must be. This is my checklist. I have done this checklist, everything, and therefore I must get liberated. Liberated is done by the mercy of the Lord, liberation. It's a byproduct of mercy of the Lord or the associates of the Lord, ones who can grant you liberation, right? But Brahmaji is not saying that. He says that there is a way for you to make this demand. And even if you don't make this demand, this has to come to you. It's a guarantee, it's a warranty statement in the contract between you and God. And what are the things, stipulations of the warranty? Well, Tatya anukampam susamiksha mano. You've done the susamiksha, it's coming from your mercy. You are still not fazed by it. You are only going to think about the Lord. You're still going to worship the Lord. And you are going to worship Him with your body, mind, and your speech. And throughout your life. And if you can somehow do that, nothing can stop you from getting liberated. But why is Brahmaji saying something absurd like this, right in the middle of it? Can you guys guess? Why is he saying this? Why is he saying this prayer to Krishna over here? Yes, go deeper. Yes, he got bewildered and then he realized, okay, so then what happened? What's he actually saying? Okay. Yeah. So Brahmaji is saying two things over here. One, I'm not liberated. He's admitting that. Why is he saying that he can't be liberated? Why is he implying that? Because he was bewildered. My dear friends, if you're liberated, you're not bewildered anymore. The bewilderment is an aspect that your mind is not completely liberated. It is still within the conditions of material nature, the three modes of material nature. There is no bewilderment. And he says like, yes, I am not liberated. And so what do I have to do to get liberated? I have to take whatever is coming my way now and in the future. I will accept this as your mercy. And the fact that I even messed up is also my fault, nobody else's fault. And yet it is your mercy so that I can become purified. I can get closer to you. And then eventually I know I will get liberated. He's also expressing some confidence in the Lord. He's saying, I know I messed up. I know I'm going to get a lot of punishment coming my way. I'm okay with that. Because eventually I know you'll pull me close to you. Okay, this is why Brahmaji is saying this. Okay? So then, this kind of prayer is, of course, we all know this kind of prayer is what? You're telling your mind, that you're convincing your mind that do it like this, do it like that. Bhaja hure mana, Shinanda nandana. So what kind of prayer is that? Mana shiksha. Okay? So you're telling yourself, I have to do this. Janya shunya nak, bhajiya, Vishkorachipan, all that stuff, right? So, yep. Okay. Next is at 32, he's glorifying the Vrajvasis. He says, Aho bhagyam, nanda gopa vrajokasam, yan mitram paramanandam, purnam brahma sanatanam. So now he is praising the Vrajvasis. Aho bhagyam, how fortunate. How fortunate is what? Nanda Gopa Vrajokasam. The Vrajokasam, the Yan Mitram Paramanandam. So these Nanda Gopa, the Lord, the Krishna, who's Nand Maharaj's son, okay? his associates, Yan Mitram Paramanandan, they are so blissful, they are so happy, they are completely immersed in the joy of the Lord. Heck, they don't even think the God is God, that Krishna is God. And he draws a parallel over here. You see, this is such an incredible prayer. He's drawing a parallel. He says, like, these people don't believe that Krishna is God. Who else doesn't believe Krishna is God? Who else did not believe Krishna is God? Brahma. But look at the difference between what Brahma was doing when he believed that Krishna is not God and what the cowherd boys are doing when they believe Krishna is not God. And the cowherd boys, when they know that when they believe that Krishna is not God, they're completely immersed in love for the Lord. Okay? Paramanandan, they're completely happy, totally blissful. And when Brahma is believing that Krishna is not God, he is anxious, he's envious. He's like, okay, how can this be God? And so on. He's not Paramanandan. So he's not only is he glorifying the Vrajvasis, he's showing a stark contrast difference between his mindset and the Vrajvasis, although they have come to the same conclusion that Krishna can't be God. Isn't this such a beautiful prayer? Right? Yeah. So this kind of prayer is called Vaishnava Mahima Prakashika. So Vaishnava's Mahima, they're glorifying the greatness, the Mahima of the Vaishnavas, or revealing the greatness of the Vaishnavas. Okay? Don't worry, final prayer. Okay? All right. Okay. All right. So, last, and this is the prayer that Brahmaji doesn't say. This is the prayer that is said by Sukdev Goswami towards the end of this chapter. Okay? So, again, I love this prayer because it is written, not just because it's written so beautifully, but it is also very instructive. This is Indra Vajra, so we can all recite it together if you want to. Samsritaye pada, samasritaye pada pallava plavam mahat padam punya yasho murare. Bhavam buddhirvatsa padam param padam 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 yad vipadam natesham. So he's saying that, look, that would be one way to do this. Okay, I think this is much, much better. Yeah. So he's saying this whole world, pada pallava plavam, okay? The people who take the shelter of your pada pallava plavam, so of your lotus-like feet, okay? Mahat padam punya yasho murari. So he's saying that, if you, the people who take shelter of your beautiful lotus feet, for them, this entire ocean, this ocean of material existence, bhavam buddhir, becomes like the vatsa padam. Vatsa means a calf. It becomes like a hoof print of the calf. This entire, you've all heard this analogy before. It becomes like a hoof print of the calf. Okay? And if you don't take that shelter, then at every single step, you will face some challenges or the other. Param yad vipadam natesham. Okay? And if you take that shelter, then at no step will you face any challenges. Because everything that you do will take you closer. And so what you do is the people who shelter, and how do they take shelter? They enter this boat. And what is this boat? This boat is the lotus feet of the Lord. So the people who take the shelter of the lotus feet, of the boat-like lotus feet of the Lord, can cross over this entire ocean of material existence as if it is like the hoof print of a calf. That is what he's saying. And if you don't, then yatte padam yad vipadam. If you don't, then at every step you will have a challenge. So this is a concluding statement. And this kind of prayer is called as in a sadhaka, the same thing, sadhaka dehe lalsa suchika. How does one get inspired to be to practice devotional service as a practitioner, as a devotee, not somebody who is already elevated and liberated, but somebody who is practicing like us. Okay? How? By taking the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord and considering that as the boat in which we can go. And if we can somehow or the other figure that out, then we will be able to cross this very easily. That's it. Okay? So we read a few different prayers and we'll end over there, and then I would rather hear from all of you. So I've made this as small as I possibly can. So there are these different types of prayers that there are usually about 10 different categories of prayers. Some of them we read. And if you read the entire chapter of Brahma's prayers, you'll see that he also talks about a few more. So Samprarthanatmika, so this is the direct prayer glorifying the Lord. Then Swa Daina Bodhika. Dainya is humility, embarrassment. So considering oneself that I am very embarrassed, I am fallen. I'll share this, Mataji, I'll share the PDF, so don't worry. Informing the Lord that, okay, I'm very, very fallen. So that kind of prayer is called Swa Dainya Bodhika. Then Mana Shiksha, we saw an example of that, which is, you teach the mind to be disciplined, you teach the mind to be rigorous, you teach the mind to, I am going to do it, I will be able to do it, somehow or the other, Then Vilatmika. So Vilapatmika. Vilapatmika is extreme lamentation. So in different prayers, in other prayers of Brahma, in that same series, he will express so much lamentation. Oh, I am so sorry. I shouldn't have done this. Darn it, khud ko kos raha hu. I cannot believe I ended up doing this. Please, please forgive me. So statements of supreme lamentation. Then we saw example of the Vaishnava Mahima Prakashika, Aho Bhagyam. You saw that, right? Then there is another type of prayer which is called Shri Guru Vaishnava Vijnapati Rupa, which is statements of submission and glorification of the Vaishnavas, especially of the Guru. Sri Guru Charana Pada Kebala Bhakati Shada Bandhamai Shabadhana Mate. This is an example of that kind of prayer. Okay? So when we approach each other also sometimes, even our Shiksha Gurus, we say, Prabhu, you are so knowledgeable, you know so much, you're so humble, you're so kind, you're compassionate. Can you please help me out? I'm really struggling over here. So this statement which I just made is like a prayer. What kind of prayer is it? The Shri Guru Vaishnava Vijnapati Rupa. Okay? Then there is one as Shri Dhama Vase Lipshatmika. So this is expressing the desire to live in the holy places. Okay? Then Sadhaka De Lalasa Suchika, we saw a couple of examples of the expressing the desire to practice devotional service. And Siddha De Lalasamai, which is now you have expressed, you have gone from Sadhaka to Siddha. So desire to attain Siddha Deya and serve Krishna in his spiritual body. So example of this would be Radha Krishna Pranamara Jugala Kishore Jibane Marane Goti Aranahimur. And then, how does that go? So you are expressing what will you do? So I will put them on this beautiful throne. I will take this garland of flowers and put them on them. I will give them this, I will fan them with chamara and this, and I will give them this tambula and that they can chew. So this is, you are not serving the devotees, you are serving the Lord as in your Siddha Deha. Okay? So this is Siddha Dehe Lalsamai. Okay? And then the last one is Akshepa Bodhika. Akshepa is again lamentation, extreme grief and sorrow that we have fallen to this material world. Okay? And many of the prayers are combined. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya koro more Toma bina ke dayalu Jagoto Sangsare. Then what? Patita pavana hetu Tavaya avatar. Now the Akshepa Bodhika. Moshamo patita prabhu na paibe ar. You will never find anybody who is as fallen as I am. So this is a combination prayer. You're glorifying the Lord, okay, that you are so merciful, and you're also saying I'm so fallen. Okay, so I wanted to share this beautiful synopsis of Brahmaji's prayers, and Brahmaji is very inspirational for us because Brahmaji over here, in his incredible humility, he admits how much he has messed up. And we mess up what we don't admit that we have messed up. Okay, so this will give us some inspiration. The other thing is also establishes Krishna's independence. That, oh, Krishna, just because we are praying doesn't necessarily mean Krishna has to accept those. So Krishna will say, okay, Brahmaji, are you done? So can I go back now to play with my friends and have the picnic? And Krishna can leave. And that is okay. And when he does, then tatte anukampam susamikshamano. We just accept it as the mercy of the Lord, as the purification that we need. And then we move forward. And then if we go on like this, and we take the shelter of the Lord, we sit in that boat, we will cross over this thing. Dayabhag, it is our hak, it is our inheritance. Nothing can stop us. Okay? I will stop here and invite your beautiful comments and your questions, and we can go from there. And then after that, we'll have our quiz. Kidding. Okay. Yeah, your comments. Did I break this? Prabhu, I don't have the money to repair it, so please forgive me. Okay? All right.
Anybody like to ask any questions, any comments? Yes. So Charuradha Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, my question, it's not a question, it is a doubt. Or
तो doubt तो question ही होता है ना फिर.
No, Prabhu. Doubt, there is a confusion going
कोई
on.
बात नहीं, बोलो.
So Brahmaji and Krishna, this pastime, Brahmaji is like full of knowledge, and when Krishna is playing with his friends, so that level is beyond knowledge. They are not knowledgeable, they don't have Vedic knowledge, they don't know that Krishna is a supreme Lord, but yes, they play with Krishna with the prem, bhav, the emotions are there. The other way, other side, when Uddhavji came, it was same. Uddhavji full of knowledge, whereas all gopis, they were full of love and bhav. So how do we relate both?
It's just different levels of bhakti. Is it okay if I give a little bit more elaborate answer? Is that all right? Is that okay? Where's Shamananda Pandit Prabhu? He always gets mad at me that I increase that. Is that okay, Prabhu, if I give an elaborate answer? Is that okay, Mataji?
Yes,
okay.
Prabhu.
There are different levels of bhakti. So you see, there is one level of bhakti which is called Aropa Siddha Bhakti, which is we do whatever work we have to do, karma, and when we are doing that karma, we don't think about the Lord, so it's just karma. But at the end, we give the results to the Lord. For example, I might be working somewhere, and then while I'm working, I'm definitely not thinking about the Lord. But then maybe a portion of my paycheck I give it to the Lord. So that is called Aropa Siddha Bhakti. It's Arop Karna, like Aropit Karna. Okay, so that is there. Okay, so this is the entry point of bhakti. Because you can give everything. Yat karosi yat apna. So whatever you can do. It can be good, it can be bad. It doesn't matter. You can give it to the Lord. So this is the entry point of bhakti. Then you have what is called as Mishra Bhakti. And Mishra Bhakti can be Karma Mishra Bhakti, Jnana Mishra Bhakti, or Karma Jnana Mishra Bhakti. But this is also mixed bhakti. So you're doing the same thing. In Karma Mishra Bhakti, you're doing work. But while you're doing work, you're also thinking about the Lord. Right? So you're doing work, you're taking care of your family, or you're doing a job or whatever. And every now and then, my dear Lord, I'm doing it for whatever thing, either to get something, or I'm doing it to get nothing, or I'm doing it for... So when I do it to get something, it is called sakama. When I'm doing it to get nothing, or I want to get rid of it, it is called nishkarma or kaivalya kama. And when I'm doing it for the sake of the Lord, for the pleasure of the Lord, or to get more bhakti, is called bhakti matra kama. So you have then therefore karma mishra bhakti in sakama, or in naishkarma, or in bhakti matra kama. Same thing now you have jnana mishra bhakti. Jnana mishra bhakti is like, for example, your mishra bhakti means that whatever you do assists you in bhakti, right? So let's say you join a yoga studio, Prabhuji. Suppose you join a yoga studio and you say, okay, I want to join this yoga studio because it will help me control my mind, control my senses, and that will eventually help me during my japa. So joining that yoga studio or doing meditation or whatever this thing, it is not bhakti, but it will help you in bhakti. So it assists in bhakti. So that is jnana mishra bhakti. Jnana can be of three types: tam padartha, tat padartha, and aikya jnana. We won't get into that. So the point is, that is also a mishra bhakti. Now that, because it is not karma, so therefore it is either kaivalya kama or it is bhakti matra kama. Why are you doing it? You're doing it so that you don't want anything out of it, or you're doing it for the pleasure of the Lord. Okay, so depending upon that. But this is also not uttama bhakti. This is also not the highest form of bhakti, right? And then you have the mixture of two, which is what we usually end up doing, jnana karma mishra bhakti, right? And then it also can be either kaivalya kama or bhakti matra kama, right? So these are inferior things. And then you have, because these are, what you're doing is not actually bhakti. It's got nothing to do with bhakti. You're doing either something in karma or something in jnana, but it is helping you in bhakti. Like vairagya, varnashram dharma. These are not bhaktis. These are karma or jnana. Okay? Thinking of being kind to everyone, being compassionate towards everybody, treating everybody with equal vision. None of this is bhakti. Okay? This is either karma or jnana. Okay? So now, the last type is called Swarupa Siddha Bhakti, which is inherently bhakti. And whether you do it knowingly or unknowingly or accidentally, it will still give you the thing of bhakti. An example given by Rupa Goswami Pad in his Bhakti Sandarbha is, there was this bird which was sitting on top of the temple and it fell down on the temple floor. And when it fell down on the temple floor, there was a dog which was standing outside. It saw that bird, it ran, it picked up the bird in its mouth. And it started running after the bird. Why? Because the priest started chasing the dog. How's the dog in the temple? And so while the dog was going, he circumambulated the temple. So the bird got the benefit of circumambulating the temple. The dog got the benefit of circumambulating the temple, and the people who were chasing the dog got the benefit of circumambulating the temple. None of them really did it out of consciousness. Many of them didn't even know that they were circumambulating the temple. But they all got the benefit of it. So this kind of thing, which is circumambulating the temple, chanting, the 9 processes of devotional service that is given by Prahlad Maharaj, this is all Swarup Siddha Bhakti. Now, Swarup Siddha Bhakti can be again of 3 types. Okay, so the first type is called as Swarup Siddha Bhakti done in, is called Sakama. Sakama again, why? I have something. Now, Sakama means like I want something out of it. Sakama can be of 2 types in Swarup Siddha Bhakti. One, I want something bad to happen to someone else. I want such and such person to die, or such and such person to be miserable, a disease to happen to them, and therefore I'm going to sit and chant. Okay, something bad. So this is called Swarup Siddha Bhakti, Sakama Swarup Siddha Bhakti done in tamasic mode. Okay, And then you have Sakama Swarup Siddha Bhakti done in Rajasic mode. I don't want anything bad to happen to someone. I want something good to happen to me. I want the money. I want the green card. I want this. I want my children to be happy. I want my family to be prosperous. Right? That's why I'm going to sit and chant. So I'm doing bhakti, Swarup Siddha Bhakti, but my motive is myself, but something good for me. So this is Sakama Bhakti done in Rajasic. Right? This is also not Uttama Bhakti. And then you have, which is called as the Kaivalya Kama, okay, Swarup Siddha Bhakti, which is I don't want anything out of it. Okay? I'm going to chant because, well, I'm just supposed to chant. That's it. My dear Lord, I don't want anything out of it. That could be one motivation, or my motivation could be I want to be liberated. Or nikalo mujhe yahan se, ho gaya mera bahut. Okay. So you'll see that this prayer that Brahmaji also says, Tatte Anukampam Susamiksha Manu, at the end, he's saying Mukti Pade, Daya Bhag, right? And where did it go? Sorry. Next one. Yeah, there you go. Jivetadiyo Mukti Pade Sa Daya Bhag. Mukti Pade. You remember that pastime with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and when Vallabha came, and he wanted to change that. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya wanted to change that. He changed it to Bhakti Pade because that Mukti Pade hurt his ears. Because devotees don't want that Mukti Pade. Right? They want the Bhakti Pade. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stopped him like, I know Baba, you are very big Bhakta ho gaya, but you cannot change what is written over there in the Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm sorry, but I understand your sentiment. I get that. Right? So this is Kaivalya Kama. So Kaivalya Kama is done in Sattvic mode. Okay? So you got Tamasic, you got Rajasic, you got Sattvic. None of those are Uttama Bhaktis. So now you come to Uttama Bhakti, which is away from these three modes, away from Tamasic mode, away from Rajasic mode, away from Sattvic mode, so away from these three gunas. Therefore it is called Nirguna. Or it is also called Uttama Bhakti. Or it is also called Kevala Bhakti. Or it is also called Shuddha Bhakti. That can be of three types. So it can be sadhana, and it can be bhava, and it can be prema. And sadhana can in turn be two types, Vaidhi Bhakti, rules and regulation, and which is the other one, Raganuga Bhakti, right? And then bhava. So now back to your question, he was at a different level. That's all it was. He was just at a different level. Bhava has different levels. Prema has 16 levels. Shyamananda Prabhu is already saying that I need to wrap up. So they're just at different levels of bhava and prema. So that is why Uddhava felt the way he did, and he understood it the way he did. He understood at his level. Okay? That love which he felt at his level. Okay, it was covered with whatever it is that it was covered with. Did that answer your question, Mataji?
Yes.
I'm sorry for such an elaborate answer.
No, Prabhuji, thank you so much. It was very, I understood it.
Okay, good.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna. Okay.
Anybody else?
Yes. Hare Krishna. Priya Radhika.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much for such a beautiful class.
Jai.
Yeah, this is just a comment, for like how you told us, explained to us how to pray. Growing up, always, we would say anything which happens, okay, pray to the Lord.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at all the different categories of prayers which you described of Uttama Bhakti. This is so different to the prayers we have grown up praying, right? Prayers, like all of us would relate. Prayers would be like, okay, if I'm not feeling well, please make me feel better. Please, the exam should go well. I should come first in class. I want to get into medical school, so on and so forth. And even the parent, like pray anything you want, parent would tell you, okay, pray to the Lord. But this is the essence, so that's such a big difference between puja and bhakti.
Yeah.
So I think you have very clearly outlined it. prayers are not something, it's not a business transaction. It is really a heart-to-heart connection and giving yourself to Krishna and these different ways. So thank you so much for beautifully outlining
it's
that.
Very good comment. The only thing I would say, Mataji, is that you see, we are not at an Uttama level, and nor will we be very easily, because for us to be at an Uttama level, at Uttama, and to practice Uttama Sarup Siddha Bhakti, we have to first be liberated. Right? So which is very, very difficult for us to get liberated like that. So we can pray for anything. And actually, there is this beautiful pastime of the Nava Yogendras. There are these 9 beautiful saintly people who come to Maharaj Nimi. This is in the 11th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And Maharaj Nimi realizes that these are amazing people. They are very, very elevated. And so he offers them a seat. He offers them a lot of respect. And he asks them a very simple question. Can you please tell me about Bhagavad Dharma? How to practice bhakti, which is what you're saying. How do we practice bhakti? How do we pray? How do we do whatever it is? And so in the beginning, so one of the Nava Yogendras, his name is Kavi, he says, you know what? Whatever condition you're in, you just offer it to the Lord. It is a remarkable statement. And Srila Jiva Goswami Pad, in his Bhakti Sandarbha, he takes up this passage in his 219th or 18th Sandarbha, and he says that this means that even if you're doing something bad, even if you're doing something dushkarma, you can offer it to the Lord. You can offer it to the Lord even if you're doing something dushkarma. This is Jiva Goswami Pad's thing. And he says that at least you start there. And then, of course, Kavi goes on, and then in the next chapter, a different person, one of the Nava Yogendras says, although this is true, try to only do things which are properly prescribed in Vedic literature, and offer only that to the Lord. But the starting point of bhakti is actually that simple. So Mataji, you are such a wonderful devotee. I know you will only do something good, but maybe I want to do something bad. So I cannot give up smoking, or I cannot give up drinking. Can I offer that cigarette to Krishna? Question for all of you. Can I offer that? How many of you say no? So the rest of you are saying yes. So why are you saying yes? Nidhi Mataji, or I forgot your initiated name. Prem Nidhi, okay, I should remember that. Prem Nidhi, why are you saying yes? Whatever we have, just offer it to the Lord. That's the starting point. This is the statement which is given to somebody who's struggling to give up something, and who's just started in their journey. But Jiva Goswami Pad doesn't end there. He says there is a mindset with which you can offer this dushkarmas. And the mindset is, he talks about 2 different people. The people who are in Jnana Marg, their mindset, so they're not in Bhakti Marg. Their mindset is, what is good and what is bad? It doesn't matter. Everything is good and everything is bad. It doesn't. That the piece of stone and gold is the same. So there is no good thing. There is no bad thing. So anything can be offered to the Lord. And the people who are in the Bhakti Marg, which is all of us over here, their mindset is different. Their mindset is that, my dear Lord, I'm struggling. And I'm not able to give up this smoking. And I really want to, because I know that this is a habit which is keeping me away from you. And I'm suffering for this habit. I'm suffering on a physical level. I'm suffering on a mental level. I'm suffering even on a spiritual level. So please, can you have mercy on me and help me overcome this suffering? So that mindset, but the offering can still be there. Arup Siddha Bhakti. This is an example of Arup Siddha Bhakti. Okay, so that's the only thing I would say in what you said. Please do not try to keep anything from the Lord. Jo hai, wo hai. This is how I am. There are so many times I hear people try to become this really great devotee. No. Don't try to become this best devotee or great devotee. Try to become a good devotee. That's it. Sincere, without hypocrisy. मैं तो ऐसा ही हूँ. And I'm trying. Can you please help me a little bit? That's it. Okay? Does that help, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu. So, offer all my anarthas
Everything.
to Krishna. because-
Everything. Arthas, anarthas, everything. Offer to the Lord.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Jai.
Hari Bol.
Yes. Okay. When should we start the quiz? Okay.
You got to give awards to the best questions also, right? So,
All right.
any other questions? Any other comments? From this side, no questions? We have two. Yes, there's one.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, at least they're opening the account now on this side. Good. Haribol.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you
Dhanyavad.
for the lecture.
Jai.
So I needed a clarification.
Yes.
You mentioned that Brahmaji said that you cannot know the Lord by the speculations.
Mental
right?
speculation,
Mental
correct.
speculation. So I actually have a Makhan Gopal, I call Laddu Gopal, people. So I wanted a clarification on that bhava when you are serving the Lord. Now you are always thinking, okay, he might like this, or he might need this, or let's say for example, if he's taking if you're serving by taking shower or anything. Like first, I initially started with just cold water, but then I'm like, oh, do we ever take shower with cold water? No. So I changed it with hot water or lukewarm. Now, is that like speculating in the sense that, it's something that I personally try to relate with me? So is it a good way of thinking that, or is it just like whatever we feel like we want to do or how we want to serve the Lord, we can do that?
Very, very good question. Very nice. So first, so happy you're personally thinking about the Lord. And you're thinking like, well, especially during, at least in this country, in India during summer, nobody wants to take a shower with hot water. You might want to take. And at that point of time, it'll be nice. My dear Lord, here's some nice cool shower or some chandan lep, which will cool you down during the summer months and so on and so forth. So that is a personal service of the Lord. And that if you were to even ask somebody, like an advanced Vaishnava, they'll also tell you that then this doesn't come under mental speculation, because this comes under an instruction which is given that treat the Lord as if you would treat a person, not somebody who's impersonal. Okay? So this is a good thing. But when we are talking about the mental speculation that Brahmaji is saying, it's not so much so. It is more about who is God? What does he think? Like, what is he thinking? Maybe this is how I should approach him. Maybe that is how I should approach him. So if you were to ask somebody like you did right now, that is this what I'm doing? So you're removing the doubts of your mental speculation, and this person, if he's answering on the basis of Shastra, then he's able to remove your doubt. If he's also answering on the basis of his speculation, then he's also mentally speculating. So I would then say that, yes, Prabhuji, as per Hari Bhakti Vilas, this is how you treat the Lord when the Lord is in your home. This is how you offer the food. This is how you understand whether how the deities in your home, what to cook for them and what not to cook for them, and when to cook. And then I will say, okay, the Lord likes varieties. So ऐसा नहीं है कि Lord is माखन चोर, तो breakfast, lunch, ये तुम माखन ही खिलाते रहो. So for the rest of his life, he'll be like, what the heck is wrong with you? Right? So sometimes he will just even these prayers that we see over here, there's so much variety. So then I would say, as per Hari Bhakti Vilas, this is what the Lord wants. The Lord likes variety. And then when you cook variety of things and offer them, you are doing it not per your mental speculation. You're doing it as per what is mentioned in the Shastras. And what I have given as an instruction is no longer then as my mental speculation, it is given as what is given in the Shastras. So the answer to a very specific example which you gave, bathing the Lord in suitable temperature water, depending upon the season of the year, it is actually given in Hari Bhakti Vilas. How do you do Abhishek at different times of the year? How do you dress the Lord in different times of the year? Right? What to put on the Lord and what not to put on the Lord. So this will help you. Okay?
Yeah, thank you, Prabhupada.
Jai Hari Bol. This prayer was the Sadhaka Dehe Lalasa Suchika. What he was just asking. How do I pray as a practitioner? Okay? All right?
Time for awards to the best questions.
Yes.
Right. Let's thank His Grace Pandit Srivas Prabhu. We have one question. Maybe we can take it afterwards because I think in the spirit of time, so you can talk to him personally. But yeah, let's thank Prabhuji by chanting Hari Bol loudly 3 times. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari
Srila
Bol.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Now or after? Okay. Yes. So I was just remembering a couple of things. Thank you, Pandit Srivas, such a nice, wonderful class. Like you said, there's bhakti